What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Suzanne Vega, and we're going back to her 1985 self-titled album. And the next tune is a track a few people have mentioned so far, Marlene on the Wall. And I say it that way because I'm familiar with a fair amount of early 20th century cinema, and although this proper name reference might not be relevant at all, Marlene Dietrich is a name I'm familiar with. I believe she was originally a German silent film actress and eventually became an international celebrity, acted for multiple decades. And when I see the phrase on the wall, I think of a poster. Of course, it could be a picture, but on the wall as a poster would make perfect sense for a film star. But even if that is the correct reference, I would say it could just be a backdrop. It could just be a visual frame of reference for a story between characters in the song. Though, obviously, if someone is on the wall, like a fly is on the wall, they could be observing what is happening between people. And of course, it could be a different reference altogether, a different Marlene or Marlena that I'm not familiar with. It could be a character in the song itself, meaning a fictional entity created to tell a narrative. But yeah, again, it makes me think of a film star and the way that posters of them are indicative of their popularity and their cachet at any given moment. So I'll see what I can catch on the first listen. This is Suzanne Vega. The tune is Marlene on the Wall, and it's from her 1985 self-titled album.
Even if I am in love with you, all this to say, what's it to you? Observe the blood, the rose tattoo of the fingerprints on me from you. Other evidence has shown that you and I are still alone. We skirt around the danger zone and don't talk about it later. Marlene watches from the wall, her mocking smile says it all. She records the rise and fall of every soldier passing. But the only soldier now is me. I'm fighting things I cannot see. I think it's called my destiny that I am changing. Marlene on the wall. Well, I walked to your house in the afternoon by the butcher shop with a sawdust dream. Don't give away the goods too soon is what she might have told me. And I tried so hard to resist when you held me in your handsome fist and reminded me of the night we kissed and of why I should be leaving. Marlene watches from the wall, her mocking smile says it all. She records the rise and fall of every soldier passing. But the only soldier now is me. I'm fighting things I cannot see. I think it's called my destiny that I am changing. Marlene on the wall. Marlene watches from the wall, her mocking smile says it all. She records the rise and fall of every soldier passing. But the only soldier now is me. I'm fighting things I cannot see. I think it's called my destiny that I am changing. Marlene on the wall.
I like that post-chorus
And
interlude.
even if I am in love with you, all this to say, what's it to you? Observe the blood, the rose tattoo of the fingerprints on me from you. Other evidence has shown that you and I are still alone. We skirt around the danger zone and don't talk about it later. And I tried so hard to resist when you held me in your handsome fist and reminded me of the night we kissed and of why I should be leaving. Marlene watches from the wall, her mocking smile says it all. She records the rise and fall of every man who's been here. But the only one here now is me. I'm fighting things I cannot see. I think it's called my destiny that I am changing, 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 changing. Marlene watches from the wall, her mocking smile says it all. She records the rise and fall of every soldier passing. But the only soldier now is me. I'm fighting things I cannot see. I think
assume I was right about the proper name reference. I feel like it sounds like a poster that is essentially a fly on the wall, observing things that is happening or that are happening, but not able to speak or interject in them in any way. But the repetition of the lyrics, it felt like it was the same run of lyrics every time around, although the last time it changed from soldier to man. But yeah, I'm curious at a couple of the lines, and indeed, the fighting things you can't see, that, is that emotions, is that, your own psychological issues, which are not in the external world. So, again, a couple lines that I'm curious about. I did enjoy the guitar work, both acoustic and that, for lack of a better descriptive phrase, like ambient bluesy electric guitar. It had this mellow ambient quality, but it was a bit bluesy at the same time, including when it flourished a couple occasions. And the wall, at first I was thinking like a bedroom, but then if, soldiers and people are marching by, I suppose it could be out on a wall, in a city or otherwise. But then when the line changed from soldier to men, then I thought it could be about relationships going by. One person, one man is there, and later it's a different man, and then, she's the only one there fighting things she can't see. So I'm not quite sure of the setting, but again, if the rise and fall relates to not just armies or nations and so on, but emotional connections and experiences, then it felt like we're talking about the passing of time and, someone who is timeless in that way on the wall being contrasted with things that live and grow and perish and flourish and, different phases of a life cycle. Then I feel like it's a really interesting reference or juxtaposition. So I don't quite know what's going on in the song thematically, but I did enjoy it. I was thinking as the song began and as it played out, if you played that song for me without telling me who it was or when it was from, I would think it was a 90s song. Now, there's a couple synth sounds in there, like keyboard sounds that were like, okay, well, that does sound a bit 80s. But it had a sort of 90s, like a mid-90s flavor to it. And I love her rapid-fire vocal delivery. Like, the song itself wasn't particularly fast, and especially that post-chorus interlude. I like the swoop of the sonics in that moment every time it came around. But the song was a pretty mellow rhythm or pace, and yet her vocal delivery was fast. And I guess you do see that in different genres, where if the music is very fast, the vocals can be slower and it seems to fit. And then sometimes when the music is slow, if you rapid fire the vocals or double time them, it has a cool quality to it. So yeah, I was just impressed by her like verbal dexterity and speed. But yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing what people have to say about the lyrics. I know this is a track that a couple people talked about in advance, so I'm sure people will give some insight and opinions. Do let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.